Your HR said the performance improvement plan is standard company process. Same for everyone. The VP's nephew has never been on one of these. 3 years. Perfect record. A perfect record is easy when nobody writes anything down. Your expense report got audited. Every receipt, every meal. You explained a $12 sandwich. The division head across the hall filed client entertainment for a dinner that cost $20,000. Nobody asked what was on the menu. You drove 8 miles over the limit. The camera caught it. The fine arrived in the mail. Your boss drove 14 over last month. He made one phone call to the precinct. The ticket went away. The speed limit has 2 lanes. One for the camera, one for the phone. You sign contracts. Legal reviews every clause. 3 rounds of red lines. The CEO shakes hands, and the deal is done on terms he decided in the car. Same company, same signature line. You are an employee. He is a walking contract. You watch a man on television say that no one is above the law. You know his son crashed a car last year. Alcohol. The case is still being handled. You have been waiting for it to be handled for 14 months. Why does the law have 2 doors? One for people who walk through, one for people who make a phone call. Feizi wrote the answer to this question 2,500 years ago. 6 Chinese characters. They are the most dangerous thing a ruler can read. Fabu Agui. Shengbu, Roku. The law does not bend for the noble. The ink line does not compromise with crooked wood. This is not a suggestion. It is not an aspiration. It is the definition of law itself. If the law can bend upward and let someone through, it is not a law. It is a door painted on a wall. It looks like a door. You walk toward it. You hit the wall. The person behind you picks up the phone and walks through. Feizi understood something that your HR department does not. Equality has a direction. It must start at the top and flow down. If it starts at the bottom and tries to flow up, it is not equality. It is decoration. The gap between the rules you follow and the rules they ignore is not a failure of enforcement. It is a design feature. Someone built the wall. Someone painted the door. Someone handed out the phones. If the law does not bite its master, it does not bite anyone. What you are living under is not law. It is a door painted on a wall. Feizi drove 2 nails into this argument. The first nail. Xinghua Bubai. Shun. Punishment does not skip the minister. Shangshan Wu Yi Pai Fu. Reward does not miss the commoner. The same punishment for the same crime. The same reward for the same deed. He did not call this fairness. He called it the physics of law. Remove it, and the whole structure collapses. Your HR is right that the process is the same for everyone. Feizi would add one sentence. The process must prove itself starting from the top. If the VP's nephew has never been tested, the test has never been administered. A law that only bites the bottom row is not a law. It is a leash. The second nail. Feizi took apart the most beloved story in Chinese history. Confucian scholars worshipped Emperor Shun, the ultimate sage king. Feizi asked a question nobody was supposed to ask. Shun's father killed a man. What would Shun do? Confucians said he would carry his father on his back and flee. Noble, heartbreaking. Feizi said, wrong question. If the system had been built correctly, with punishments so clear no one could escape them, Shun's father would never have killed anyone. You worship the hero who cleaned up the flood. I am asking who built the dam. Your boss's phone call is not the problem. The problem is the phone was installed. Montesquieu, France. 1748. He wrote that power must check power, or it is not power. It is violence. 3 branches. each holding the others in place. Han Feizi never said 3 branches. He said something older and more fundamental. Power is only legitimate when it submits to its own rules. The moment it steps above them, it stops being power and becomes something else. A stick, hitting whoever is shorter. Montesquieu never read Han Feizi. 2,000 years apart, same shadow on the same wall. What happens when the man who wrote these words tests them against the one person he cannot reach? Han Feizi was a prince of the Han Kingdom. Qin was the rising power. The Qin king read Han Feizi's writings and wanted him. Han Feizi traveled to Qin. He planned to serve. He planned to build the system he had described. There was a problem. Li Si had studied alongside Han Feizi. He was already serving the Qin king. He knew Han Feizi was smarter. He told the king, Han Feizi is a prince of Han. His loyalty will always be to his homeland, no matter what he writes. No matter what he says, the law cannot be bigger than his birthplace. The king nodded. Han Feizi was thrown into a Qin prison. Li Si sent poison. Han Feizi drank it. He died alone in a cell, in the kingdom whose legal code he designed, under a king who had read every word he wrote and understood none of them. Here is the part that should keep you up. The law Han Feizi designed could not bite the king. The king stood above it. Fabu Egui. The law does not bend for the noble, but the law did not reach the throne. The man who wrote the rule died under it. The man the rule was meant to restrain never felt it touch him. You are not Han Feizi. You did not write the rules, but you are standing in the same spot he stood. You follow the law. You respect the process. You wait for the phone call to end and the world to level. It does not level. Han Feizi knew this was wrong. He wrote down exactly how to fix it. 2,500 years ago. 6 characters, and he still could not save himself from the king who stood above them. That is the difference between writing a rule and enforcing one. The rule is ink. The enforcement is power. And power, until it learns to bite its own hand, will always answer the phone. You have been waiting for the law to turn around and face upward. Han Feizi waited too. He is still waiting. The nephew with the perfect record, the $20,000 dinner, the ticket that vanished, the CEO who was a walking contract, the case still being handled, Han Feizi in a Qin cell, the poison arriving. They are all still there. But one thing has shifted. You are not the person who broke the rules. You are the person the rules were designed to bite. Han Feizi called this Xingbu by Dachun. Punishment does not skip the minister. He drew the road. 2,500 years. Nobody has walked it yet. You can stop being angry at your own shadow. You are not a shadow. You are standing in the one layer of the building the light happens to miss. The phone is still on the hook. You can stop waiting for it to ring. Han Feizi died in a Qin prison cell. The king who read every word and understood none of them went on to unify China. The law survived. The lawyer did not. He knew this was possible. He wrote it down anyway. Ask him the question you still cannot sleep with. The old books have been explaining this for 25 centuries. There may be more than one way to see your world.